Hello, Tom Kosnick, founding partner of the Vices Group, here with Kathy Hardy to talk about four leadership styles. Kathy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm the founder of K. Hardy Consulting. After years and years of being in every type of staffing company you could think of, from small $5 million ones to running half the country, I decided to give myself a gift and start doing the pieces of the job that I loved the most through a consulting agency. So I work with executives on leadership development and their own development. And also, I consult with companies that are having a hard time developing their own leaders and have a lot of manager turnover. And I also do coaching with people who are looking to develop, new skills. So I'm having a ball doing it, and I work with Tom at Advices, and he's been giving me opportunities to share some of my words of wisdom.
We've talked on and on about these different challenges, and the biggest challenge that my clients have are they have these budding managers, and these managers, they just don't know how to train them. They don't know where to go to train them to become more experienced managers. And you and I talked about this four styles of leadership development:
Mhm.
directing, delegating, coaching, and supportive. I just want to unpack those four for our listeners. So tell us about the directing leadership style and when it's appropriate.
Yes, this is kind of a bossy leadership style, but when appropriate, it's very effective. So, the directive leadership style involves telling your employees what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. So, you're not letting them decide how to approach the task. This helps guide employees' work and establish the exact steps they're going to need to reach a performance level that they're comfortable with. You frequently think about it when you imagine someone giving details to someone in boot camp. Like, you will get out of bed at 5 o'clock. There's not a discussion. How do you feel about that? Do you have other ways you want to propose we do that? No, you're getting out of bed at 5 o'clock. So it's a very effective way to deal with early beginners who have no skills or low skills, but they have high will. They're very excited to be there and they're eager to follow your directions.
Got it, got it. Tell us about delegating.
Yes, delegating is kind of selling. That's when you have folks who have developed some skills, but they might be frustrated that they're not getting new assignments or more. They are anxious to be part of the team and want to know what they can look forward to. And that's where you're going to assign projects uh, to these folks based on their strengths. You don't delegate to someone a project because they're weak in it, because that's not going to make anybody feel good. But projects that they have the skills to do, and where they're going to check back in with you frequently. You're not going to be hovering over their backs, making sure they're doing it like in directing, but you're going to delegate with clarification of how far you want them to go before they come back. And it's very good for some skill, but disillusioned.
So directive, new employees, high will, low skill, you're really directing them how to do the job. Delegating,
Mhm.
maybe somebody that's been with you for a year or so, and you're trying
Mhm.
to get them more engaged in the
Right.
mission and what's going. Tell us about coaching.
And this is where I hear when you ask leaders, what's your style? They'll go, well, I'm a coach. Well, if you're a coach, you have to also have directing and you need to also have delegating. You can't just coach everyone. If I go out, to play on the Green Bay Packers and I have no skills, they're not just going to go, hey, Kathy, go get them and send me onto the field. That's not going to make anybody happy, trust me. So coaching has to come as the other foundations have been set. And then you're really participating with that employee, choosing goals and next steps of where the skills development needs to be as well.
And then from coaching, it's the supportive.
Hmm.
So tell us
Yes.
about the supportive leadership
This
style.
is where every leader wants all of their direct reports to be, which is an accomplished performer. They have high skill level and they have high will and motivation. And but yet you're not done because they need their leader to be saying, what do you want to do next? What's the next step? Where do you see that you could add value within our team? You know, is this person going to start taking over the directing of early learners? Because they might be more detail oriented than the manager who was trying to do it. Or they might do staffing meetings, they might hold topics. You've got to know where they want to go next. And even if you don't have a position in your organization, you have to keep putting tools in their toolbox. Send them to a conference or let them get some executive coaching. But you become an advocate of where they want to go and working with them and opening doors.
This is, and then I'm assuming that if I'm a manager and I've got a half a dozen people on my team I'm managing, then the contingent management style. So then, with some I'm using directive, some I'm using delegative, some I'm supportive, and so then the art of the management then is like knowing when to use what style with what employee at what time. Correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you offer this kind of training for managers to companies?
Yes, it's called Achiever to Leader, and it's about when you have taken one of your accomplished performers and promoted them, what you need to be sure of that they are competent in before you just let them go.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
every high performer is a good manager. It's a very different path. And so it's 3 sessions that we go through the 12 top hurdles that you're going to face when you put a high performer into a manager role, especially if they're managing people that used to be their peers.
I like it. Something better than nothing. The sink or swim when it comes to managing, just it ends up being you get an increased turnover rate.
Right. And how many managers say, well, it's staffing, you're just going to have to sink or swim? I mean,
Yeah,
because
exactly,
everything moves so
exactly.
fast.
Well, Kathy, great. I mean, I love the simplicity of it. I love the fact that you're out here working with companies, training managers on how to young budding managers trying to become professionals. So, but thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us today and telling us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.